Hello and welcome to the Yin Yoga class focused on the feminine energy, the lunar energy, and our ability to receive and conceive all the good things in life. It boosts our creativity and fertility, and it's just a really beautiful way to truly connect with your lunar energy. Whether you are resonating or associating with the gender man or woman, everyone can benefit, any gender or anyone can benefit from this practice, as it's a true invitation to a deeper state of presence or a deeper awakening of possibility into our lives. It's very helpful if for the practice today you have some pillows or a bolster with you, possibly also blocks, but also without, you'll do fine. Just make sure you are dressed warm, comfortable, and yes, enjoy. So let's get started on the mat today in a cross-legged position. If it's hard for you to sit up tall, you can always support your sitting bones with extra support. The cushions are the blocks. And we're going to start with some Chandra Bidana breathing, so some lunar breathing. Starting to close off our right nostril and starting to take a deep inhalation through the left nostril. So take a deep inhalation and sit up tall. Then hold your breath for a brief moment and exhale through both nostrils. If you want, you can place your index finger, middle finger on the forehead and close off with the thumb. Continue, inhale. Left, slow pause. And exhale both. Do that a few more times in your own rhythm. Inhale. Hold the breath. And exhale through both nostrils. And taking a few moments to open the joints and body. So just move your shoulders, neck. Taking about a minute or two for some intuitive movement. If you're not comfortable or not confident with it yet, then just make some circles with your belly button around the sitting bones. And try to establish a deep connection with the sitting bones to the ground. So really feel the body connecting to the surface of the ground. And breathe. Normally in Yin Yoga we don't always control the breath, we just let it flow naturally, but if you can focus a little bit more on some slow exhalations, this will be very helpful to focus more on the receptive energy. Yes. Breathe a few more times. And then from here, we are going to come to hands and knees. So put yourself into a hands and knees position, maybe support the knees a bit more. Feel again a strong connection to the surface of the earth and make a few big circles with your hips around the knees. Opening here our joints, our wrists, our hips, and breathing deep. Make sure you move in the two directions. And then we are gonna try to step our right foot to the front, okay? Put your hands underneath the shoulders, chest is leading forward, and turn your upper body a bit to the right for a few breaths. We're trying to open here into the psoas muscle to the front of the left hip, so lower the hips and peel the chest open. As from here we're going to try to walk our right foot to the left hand and place our right shin to the floor. Now if this is too much for you, you can always do the figure 4 position, reclined, so I'll show you in a moment. Or you can just choose the option instead where we are going to swing our left leg to the front and place our right ankle over the left knee, possibly with a block or support under the right knee. But if you stay with us with the pigeon, or as we call it in yin, the swan, you can stay here, possibly coming forward. And we're going to be here about 2 to 3 minutes. Our hips are the center of emotion. And many times we are very much focused on the external world and less on the internal world. So we are focused on our interactions with others and what we can give and do, and not as much on what we can receive and be. So this is truly an invitation for all of us to be present, to breathe deep, and to focus our energy on being here and allow the tension wherever you feel it, not just in the hips but other parts of the body, to be released. If you are sitting in the other position where you have your right ankle over the left knee, seated, figure 4, then same principle, just make sure your lower back is broad. You try and relax as much as you can. And try and receive your breath. Try to receive your breath as a gift in this moment. Receiving the life force. And creating space in the lower body parts to open up to this present moment and life. And then we're going to come slowly out of the position. Take your time and now swing the left leg to the front as you place your right foot to the ground. And now put your right foot a bit more out and just drop a few times this right knee from side to side, moving from external to internal rotation. As many times with hip opening, we focus just on external rotation, but also the internal rotation and the space inside is important. And from here, we're eventually going to stay in the internal rotation. If you feel any kind of pressure on the inner knee, then sit onto the heel. And maybe you want to sit with the left buttocks on a block, either maybe more, so you ensure there is no tension on the knee. If there's still tension, you can maintain the external rotation, as we did before. And now we're going to stay here. Or if you have the capacity, we're going to lean a bit back. And we're going to try now to open the front of the hips, yes. So I'm just going to show you for a moment. So either you are sitting here next to the foot, so the heel on the outside or onto the foot, just turning around so you can see it. So you're still in the same position, I'm just demoing more. And some of us, they can go all the way down. But wherever you are, make sure that right hip is down. And try to make sure you have a steady pranic flow, a steady flow of energy going down into the abdomen. And now breathing. Allowing every breath to be freeing. Freeing ourselves from tension, freeing ourselves from duty and responsibility, and just for a moment, inviting this openness, this presence to simply receive. In a moment, we're going to come out of the position. Take it slow. And now try to come slowly up. And now release your legs for a moment and just shake them out or be still, but just feel your body. Letting our body speak to us. What do I need? How can I find space in my body? Allowing our body to speak. So often we tend to approach creativity and all kind of desires in our life from a place of lack. So we put so much pressure on ourselves that we have to have it, we have to do it, but this only blocks the energy more. It puts even more pressure on the nervous system. So the solution is not lack but love. So breathe and try to just give yourself permission to be, to receive. And then we're going to try to come to a squat. You can use your hands for this. Lower the heels and try to take a few grounding breaths where you're really settling into the hips. So hips are heavy, the hands can be to the heart. And we're just going to take a few slow breaths. Some of us, they prefer sitting on a block. Put it in any direction. And then just sitting here and breathing. The practice is not to fight our thoughts or fight the stressors, but to find space around them. Cultivating the space to be present. And then coming out of the position, remove the block. And now stepping slowly, first fold for a moment and stepping slowly the right leg back. Coming to the lizard lunge to the other side. So I turned on the mat, but you should be in the same direction. It was just to demo. So left foot to the front, hips down, chest open, and taking real deep breaths to open on the one side the right front body and the hip flexor. And the other side, the left leg a bit more in an external rotation, so that leg moves a bit out. Yeah, and just taking deep breaths and really finding space in the abdomen. You can even breathe out through the mouth, and if you want to open just a little bit more to the front here, you can engage the back a bit more. So if you engage the glute medius on the right side, it will open the front side. And then from here, we're going to walk, come a little bit back and walk that left foot to the right hand and come into the pigeon stretch. And the bigger the angle is of the left upper and lower leg, the more intense it will be. It's helpful to press the little toe side into the mat and to possibly support the left hip a bit. If you want or if you need, you can bring the other variation of the figure 4 here. Just if you feel that is, for example, harming your knee or you feel some tension on the knee, then it's recommended to do that version. The main focus lies on the external rotation on the left hip now. So come maybe forward, resting the body, and we are really emphasizing, or we cannot emphasize enough, the quality of our breath. And trying to receive the loving qualities, that what we wish to feel when we have more creativity, when we would conceive. That what we are hoping to awaken in our lives. Can we recognize those qualities already? Can we recognize where we are creative, fulfilled already? Let's take a few more breaths and just allow yourself to settle. Just feel where you can relax a bit more in the body. And come slowly out of the position. Take your time and swing that right leg to the front. Put your left foot down to the floor and just drop it a few times in and out. Just really moving from the hip. So no strain on the knee, just moving from the hip, external, internal, and eventually bending that left leg. So same principle, you maybe support the right hip if you feel that the hips are unbalanced. We're gonna try stay here. If this doesn't work, you can keep the external rotation and just lean back here. Otherwise, internal. And same principle, coming halfway down, maybe even a bolster under the spine. You can even have the bolster. Ideally, you set that. You set it up, maybe not being in the position like I am, but just coming out and adjust. And then coming to lay down. And wherever you are, it can be that you just have your hands behind you and just lean slightly back, or you're all the way down, relaxed. It's a communication between you and your body, and a sense of vulnerability and honesty with the body. And to breathe and open up the front line of our body brings us to more vulnerability. It's essentially the vital parts we often want to protect, and when we're in stress, we close off. But if we open up, we are more receptive on all levels, mentally, emotionally, physically. So place your hands wherever you can support yourself. And instead of focusing on needing to achieve or accomplish, can you focus on your inner sense of worthiness? That you are worthy already. That whatever you're hoping to attract, you are worthy of having it. Breathing. And we're gonna come slowly out of the position. Take your time. And just swing the legs to the front and shake them out a bit. And then bring a bolster, a cushion, or a block, or anything you have to bolster yourself, lift yourself up. And then we're gonna come and lay down slowly, bend the legs, and get that bolster, whatever you have with you. As you come and lay down slowly and slide it underneath your hips, transition hips to lower back. And option 1, if you feel some tension in the lower back, you just bend the legs, drop the knees together. But if you can, stretch the legs out and let that space, that lower abdomen here, let it open up. You can drop your toes out or have the toes more parallel if you feel that you had a lot of external rotation already. But try to breathe now deep into the lower belly. And maybe even work with this affirmation of I'm ready to receive, whatever it is, because mind wants to control, ego wants to know what's next, how it will come. But heart and soul knows that I am here to grow. Everything will come in its timing, and even if I don't know, I am learning to trust the flow of how things come and how things go. Breathing deeply. Exhaling fully. Relaxing completely. And then when ready, you can bend the legs. Slide the bolster down and just relax. You can also just use cushions under the knees. No need for other props than you have. Just go with what we have. That's the motivation in life as well. We're just making the most out of it. And in order for you now to relax completely and finish with your Savasana, take a moment to feel if you want to do some movements here. Just release the spine, some twists, or just holding the knees to the chest. And then when ready, completely relax. And then you can choose to have the arms next to the body. Maybe put something on your eyes to make sure you're dark and relax. And then it's recommended to stay here minimum 5 minutes to just really learn to be present. Even if your mind keeps jumping or moving around, don't fight mind, but unite with the awareness beyond and relax body. Release in the body and receive in this journey. Take your final breaths and truly thank yourself, as we will leave you here. Very happy you took the time to gift yourself from love over fear. We're very happy to hear from you and hope it was a beautiful practice that nourishes and supports you. Thank you so much and enjoy your relaxation.